Hello. I'd like to talk to you now a little about one of Japan's most unique and interesting forms of traditional craft item. That's the Kokeshi Japanese doll. Kokeshi dolls are fairly well known outside Japan, and they originally started here in Japan in the 19th century in the hot spring resort towns of Miyagi in the northern part of the main island of Honshu. The dolls are thought to have originally begun as toys made by craftsmen for their children, although visitors to the spas soon took a favor to the dolls, and the craftsmen started making these dolls to be sold as tourist souvenirs. Today in Japan there are roughly two types of kokeshi that you can find, what I call artist and craftsman-style kokeshi. This would be an example of an artist-style kokeshi, whereas this particular doll would be more of a craftsman style. And let me just talk for a moment about the difference between the two. The artist style dolls typically have this more traditional form, the cylindrical body and the rounded head. These are lathe turned body and head. Another feature of the artist dolls are very fine and distinct painted body features, and especially the face. The face of these dolls tends to be very idiosyncratic. Often collectors can determine the artist just based upon the facial features alone. But if you're not able to determine the artist that way, another characteristic of the art style kokeshi is the inclusion of a signature on the bottom. These dolls are typically made for collectors who collect the more finer quality kokeshi. The tourist trade in Japan still makes kokeshi for people that are traveling and visiting various areas, and this particular kokeshi is most likely a good example of that. It's unsigned, there's no artist signature, and it was probably mass produced for some business or tourist destination here in Japan. It represents the Buddhist sage Daruma, the founder of Zen Buddhism, and represents a famous saying about life makes you fall down 7 times, but you should get up 8 times. So you can see multiple figures of Daruma persevering to continue trying. Another example of a nice tourist-style kokeshi is this one, which takes the shape of Tokyo Tower in Japan. I'll need to zoom in just a bit to get a close-up of this. This lovely doll has the traditional kokeshi style head at the top. You can see that it's very similar to the artist style. Not as much time is spent on the detail or the characteristics of the face, because this is more of a tourist item, mass produced. And then it has a body that is shaped like Tokyo Tower, a famous landmark up in Tokyo, and no signature. Sticking with the small dolls, I'm going to go ahead and show you another interesting doll. This figure. This is one of the this particular unusual kokeshi is the body and the head are integrated into one doll, and it takes the form of one of the Shichifukujin luck gods, part of the Japanese Shinto faith. And one of the interesting characteristics of this particular doll is that on the inside there is a piece of paper with a prayer written on it. This particular kokeshi may have been received at a Shinto shrine, and in addition to carrying back a nice souvenir to your friends, you can carry some of the good luck and good intentions of the shrine. Perhaps my favorite types of kokeshi are the very small craftsman-style dolls, where a great deal of time and attention was spent in forming something that is more lifelike and quite beautiful. And this doll is a perfect example. This kokeshi takes the form of a woman, beautiful woman in kimono, and you can see that the doll body has been shaped to resemble the outline of a woman's form. Beautiful, beautiful lines here with the kimono sleeves. And the head, though not nearly as detailed as an artist piece, is nonetheless very finely made. Beautiful features here. There's no signature on this doll. It's probably a craftsman piece, but nonetheless very nice. It even has an obi on the back. This doll is an example of what's called a Naruko style Kokeshi, in which the head can swivel on the body. And you can hear a squeak. And the squeak was designed by craftsmen long ago to give the doll, to entertain children, and give the doll a sound not unlike a child crying. So these Naruko dolls, the heads squeak and they actually nod back and forth a little bit. Particular favorite of mine. This is a lovely doll. You can see that this doll is rather old and quite weathered. It has the patina is deep and rich, and it has probably suffered from some water damage as well. To my mind, that only enhances the quality and character of these dolls. Unfortunately to the Japanese, frequently they prefer the brand new pristine types of dolls, whereas I tend to lean towards the dolls that have had a little history. Periodically you can find extremely interesting versions of Kokeshi. This is a real treasure in my mind, this particular doll, and it's the type of doll that I rarely encounter here in Japan. This is a Kokeshi that actually represents the Buddhist patron saint Jizo, who is the patron of travelers, women, children, expectant mothers, and even firemen. You find statues of Jizo-san throughout Japan, and many people use Jizo in similar ways that some people in the West use Saint Christopher as a charm for safe travel and journeys, and also to watch over their welfare when traveling. This is a really nice doll. It's one of my personal favorites. Kokeshi, zoom back out. Kokeshi can come in very large sizes, such as this interesting black Kokeshi. Very subtle painted eyes here. And very small sizes. This particular doll here is barely visible in its wrapper. You can get a close-up there. The doll is right in there. It almost needs you almost need a magnifying glass to take a look at this. But regardless of their size, large, small, artist, craftsman, tourist, or religious, whatever your interests, Kokeshi fill a very interesting and unique niche in Japanese Mingei crafts and are a delight to collectors around the world. I hope you've enjoyed this simple tutorial on some of the basics of Kokeshi, and I hope you enjoy your own collecting. Please send us an email or give us a call if you have any questions. We're always happy to hear from you. Take care for now. Bye-bye.